This episode of Super GG Radio is brought to you by our Patreon. Patrons of the show can get our Dogs of Super GG Radio newsletter, Super GG Radio stickers to slap on your closest PC or bag, input on what we cover, game nights with the hosts, and even a chance to win a copy of an indie we talked about. Not only that, but 90% of all patron contributions go to the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. Visit patreon.com/superggradio to learn more.
What's good, Internet, and welcome to session 236 of Super GG Radio, where friends chat about video games and all things adjacent. 2023 is officially in the books. The final year that I will be your beatlist champion, Eric Getty Gettinger. With me, as always, is number 2, Alex Bono Arona.
How dare you? U2 is not a very good band, and I don't like being compared to them.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a couple good songs, but they forced themselves onto my iPhone, and thus forced themselves out of my heart.
So not to mention, there was that debacle that was Sing 2.
Oh, just like Bono, Alex is number 2.
How dare you, Alec? Sing 2 is excellent. It is a fantastic film.
Nah, it's just Bono needs money.
That's
like 90% of the songs are U2 songs.
That's not
Is
true,
that true
either.
Yeah, it is.
There's some Katy Perry in there. There's some.
He said
Demi
90%,
Lovato?
so somebody now needs to go on Google.
I'm
looking at
math.
you, Alex.
Do
it.
I'm going to do the math.
Let me introduce everybody else. Thank you. You do math right now.
I'm going to mute myself and clickety-clack it over here. Go
Sure.
for it.
Okay. Next up is Smack Talk Master Joel DeWitt. Sir, just like Smash Mouth, you're all flash in the pan.
That's out of line. Smash Mouth's the greatest band of our generation. In fact, they're not just of our generation, they're cross-generational now. Because kids now with Shrek, Shrek perpetuates it.
I forgot about Shrek.
And then the memes perpetuated on top of that. It's just this... I wish I had the self-perpetuating system they did.
What is this Shrek resurgence? Because I feel like it went out for a while, but now I just see people like, yeah, I'm all Shrek.
Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
All right, I guess.
To some people.
Finally, we welcome hero and bardic inspiration of the podcast, Alec Parks.
How dare you?
Alex, do you have a number for us?
It's 6% of the Sing 2 soundtrack is Bono.
No.
Or U2.
Hold on. Alec, you said of the movie or of the soundtrack?
Of the movie.
So do I have to calculate minutes that Bono is on screen? Or you said songs? You said songs.
Yeah, I said songs, but of the movie.
And that means, and if you take the time of all the songs together, I guess I could do the math on how many minutes the songs are in total versus how long those U2 songs are. But I'm telling you, out of 20 tracks, there are 3.
Okay, that's a lot more than 6%.
Not all.
It was 2, and I can't remember if one of them is a U2 song, so now I'm changing that to, okay, we'll say that it is 15%.
All right, so, sir, your math was really wiggity-whack to start. But keep in mind that not all songs on a soundtrack appear in the movie. So now we're in a gray area. Now you're gonna have to go back,
because I remember every single. I know those songs.
And watch it. You're gonna have to watch it and take notes. Hey guys, we're completely
Sing 2 like 27 times in the
completely
last year.
off the rails here, but that's fine. It's fine because this year is going to be filled with danger, daring do-good, and desperate demos. And that's where we do this year on Super GG Radio. I wish that we knew ahead of time all the stupidity that we're going to get into, but you're just going to have
to that community image of everything on fire.
Well, I maintain that this is the darkest timeline.
Legit.
Yep. You're just going to have to tune in every week, watch us, feel a little bad for us, and then continue to watch us until we get enough viewers and listeners that Alex can move out of his mom's basement and finally get his family into a house. The internet is preventing Alex from having a fulfilling life. You didn't say anything. I was expecting like a little...
I'm not... What do you want me to say? That's probably true. That's probably true.
Alex needs more time to green screen himself into stuff.
I can green screen myself all day. I sometimes do it privately. Sometimes I do it publicly.
Okay,
I do it all over the place.
The second you said that, I was thinking, like, he could be in a green screen right now.
You don't know, Getty.
Yeah, and then he just steps out, and it's...
I'm so scared for that. I'm so scared.
I like to keep you guessing.
He's got
that
too
Robin.
much time
I just recorded Robin.
She's
just making sounds in the background. You don't know if that's real or not.
I hope that she's okay. All right. Refocus. This week, we get a little morbid in early adopters. Renew our romance with the news. Ooh, spicy. And then we talk a little about all of the games that we've been playing for the last 2 weeks, because we had some time off to think about all of the things that we did wrong this last year. Yep. All right, guys, let's do this. We're going to make the slow walk over to early adopters, where we play alphas, betas, and games that Alex made us purchase. That's a new one for me. I don't think I've ever purchased a game for early adopters. I've bought games and then they ended up on the segment, but purchased? All right, Alex. This is your one-man show.
Yeah?
Talk us through... I'll talk it too. Talk us through Buckshot Roulette.
Oh, man. Okay.
Okay, imagine if you will.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys remember Inscription? You're playing cards against a creepy old man in the woods with the threat of death?
Yes.
You could set that setting a little bit better. You've been kidnapped and held hostage in a cabin in the woods.
None of that. Wait, they don't kidnap you?
And
it's heavily implied.
Failure means death. All right, go ahead.
All right. So you're in a very seedy nightclub, and you kick the door open to the bathroom, and now you hear the music thumping, and then you kick the door into another room, and it's just a shady back room that has a game board on it, and it's basically shotgun roulette, where they will put the first round, they put 2 blanks and one real bullet, and you have to decide whether you're going to shoot yourself or them, and you do it until you're wrong. And if you're like, I'm going to shoot myself because it's going to be a blank, and it ends up being a real bullet, first off, it's jarring. It's just it's like a loud jump, it's a very loud and cuts real hard. I had Beth put it on for a second, and she just jumped because the blast is so jarring.
Okay, but then it's not go until you hit. It's you take turns. So if you point it at the dealer or the person opposite and it's a blank, it's a blank.
No,
if
that's
you
if you
shoot
get
him
it wrong. It's because I've shot a blank at my face and they go again.
Okay,
and I'm like, okay,
that is a stipulation of the match. But if you shoot a blank at the dealer, then
that's wrong. That's guessing
exactly.
Wrong, and they get a turn.
But if you shoot him, you don't get a second turn. You put the shotgun down, and it's the next person's turn.
Okay.
So you take turns doing it, but if you guess correctly and you go to shoot yourself and it's not, then you can take another turn.
Now, and let's just stop for a second. The dealer is a big moon-style head with jagged teeth. Giant jagged teeth and a gaping void black eyes. There's nothing in there. It's a puppet. It's not a puppet. It's even just a creepy. It's hard even to say. It's a meal with giant, sharp, jagged teeth. It's that creepy of a face. A meal from Nier. Just this big pie-faced creepo, and you have 3, basically 3 energies or lives and hits, and they do as well. And you kind of got to get it through that first round of make it through knocking them out first. Then the second round, you guys get more life, but now items are introduced.
if you successfully beat the dealer.
Yep.
Or the house. Let's just call them the house.
No, if you go through all of the, if you go through the first, like, if you get through all, like, once you defeat the dealer, next round, now there are items, and the items are just really fascinating things. So the beer can, you'd shotgun a beer, and you cock the gun, so whatever bullet's in there pops out, and you can see what it was, but it's more the fact of that. Okay, this one's not even going to count, and you can see like, oh, okay, that was a blank. Crap. Okay, so the next one, you gotta start doing math in your head. If there's a hacksaw, you can saw the edge of the shotgun off, and then whoever gets shot, it'll take 2 damage. If you handcuff somebody, you handcuff the opposing person, then you get 2 turns. And I've been handcuffed before. You get a pack of cigarettes. You take a hit of a cigarette, you get 1 health back.
That makes so much sense.
Can I get some context in the I've been handcuffed before category?
Oh, I had him once in a row, like, handcuff me 4 times and just kept shooting me in the face.
Yes.
I played this for like
a
an
similar
hour.
experience. Because the items that you pull out of the box are randomized each turn, you might, end up with a beer can, the knife to chisel down the gun, or the handcuffs. You can pull multiple handcuffs, you can pull multiple beer cans. The point is that it's random. So as you're playing, it's not going to be the same. I like the slight nuance that one time when I was going through the box, I pulled out a contract, because at the beginning of the game they make you sign a contract, waiving all rights and liability for what the stupidity that's about to ensue. But I picked up a contract and it was like signed by God. Yeah, I was like, that's kind of interesting, but I mean, you could have made up the name that you put on it. So
you can't put God. I tried.
You did?
Yep, you can't put God.
But you can find the contract from God.
Did he try dog?
Yes, dog is up for grabs.
How many names did you try?
There was another one too. I can't remember what it was. I tried a couple of them.
You definitely put Alex once.
Mm-hmm. Well, Alex, yeah. But it's the game though, because the whole time it's still in the club, and in the background you just hear the faded doom 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 doom, and it's just tense. Each time you're pulling the trigger with authority, like you're like, I'm gonna commit to this bit. This is gonna happen right now, and that includes when you put it to your face, and they put it to their face, and each time it's just, you're like, oh, I know this is probably a blank. Okay, it's good. It's just it's jarring, and everything is just got this layer of filth on it. Like the table's real dirty. You're smoking cigarettes. There's a section in the final round that they put a contraption on the thing that displays your health, and instead of like just turning off the little electronic screen that displays your health, if you get, like, when you guys get low enough, it'll just chop the wires, like a little mechanism that will just chop the wires so that you can't see who's health, like how much health you have. But it's just like, it's, again, why did you have to take this giant metal case, put it over like a little digital display, and chop the wires? Like, it just really weirdly, like, it's a level of flair that just makes everything feel intense and kind of gross, and it's awesome. It's Buckshot Roulette. I saw this. I saw some video of it, and I was like, holy hot damn, this is the game. This is what we need to be talking about right now.
This is the first week of the year, and Alex has already said this is Game of the Year material.
This might be my beta of the year.
Of the entire year.
Yep.
He's got 51 more weeks. He's calling it, guys.
Let's be fair, it's 50. 49, because we've got extra life.
48.
I mean, we can still play games during that time frame. Nothing's going to stop you.
I go off of betas that we're talking on the podcast.
Oh, then we have like 3 weeks, because chances are people are going to be out every other week. Alex has vacation time. Mm-hmm. I think Joel already picked some PTO next month.
Oh, I should probably put in for my vacation too.
Yeah, make sure that you submit those requests to HR, otherwise they're not going to get approved in a timely manner.
I'll just take it unpaid then.
We don't do one like every day is unpaid.
Yep. But man, no, seriously, Buckshot Roulette.
Game of the year.
We know websites that take article pitches, and I went to like 3 websites, and I was like, I would like to talk about this game, please. Please, can I really write you an article about this, because this would be awesome. This game rules, and I just want to tell more people about it. So
and maybe we will.
That's where I'm at with Buckshot Roulette.
Get out there, play Buckshot Roulette.
It's $1.50, maybe less.
$1.20.
There we go.
Alex will reimburse you.
I will. I will pay people to play this game.
Good thing he's paying somebody. All right, moving on.
Mean.
Hey, I do the best with what I have here. And I did not do my best with lasers. Guys, let me tell you about lasers. You remember that scene in the original Resident Evil movie where they walk into this corridor and then just lasers appear and they slice everybody to tiny little bits? In the most gory, terrifying fashion, like a person like gets cut up into little pieces, another person like loses an arm, and you just see viscera spray out. That's what lasers is. You are dodging, ducking, trying to avoid lasers.
The only good parts of that franchise.
As you try and navigate some of the toughest levels I've seen in a multiplayer, like mayhem kind of fashion. So lasers can be played single player, or it can be played online against multiple people, but you take the third person perspective and you are just trying to book it across this stage and not get cut to little bits by lasers. And you can jump, you can crouch, you can crawl, but all of the time the ringer that they put you through just gets more and more intense and crazy. Guys, tell me about your lasers experience and how terrified you are of lasers now. Anybody, please.
I am not good at this game.
I'm in that camp too.
Yep. I started off on the hexagon was the level that it put me through. And the first challenge was a grid of up and down bars with lasers with one horizontal, and it would cut out certain lasers as they were going back and forth. And I just could not get the timing down. I couldn't get out of the second bloody room.
And at least in the default settings, it's very sensitive on the camera movement too. So I kind of found myself struggling a little bit with that because I'm stubborn and not going to go into settings and change it. But it is that great kind of one-hit kill thing. But it doesn't feel that frustrating because moments later you're back up and going again, and it's sort of almost it's almost like remember that show Wipeout?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like that was sort of the ridiculous, obstacles and stuff that go through.
Alex, did you also enjoy your lasers time?
Yes, I did.
And you finished all of your stages?
No, I didn't. I was doing hopscotch with lasers. But no, it kind of reminded me of Catherine Zeta-Jones. She dips beneath the lasers.
All right, name that movie.
That's in.
You got it. Come on.
Entrapment.
There you go.
Yeah, nailed
Nice.
it.
Didn't even have to use Google.
Nope. No,
Google
I was very bad at this game. I definitely got a couple of things. But it was mostly like I got to a point where there was just like a fan of lasers on the ground, and I was hopscotching with them, and I got to a point where I'm like, I'm stuck. I can't move. I can't make forward progress. I'm trying to hopscotch the lasers. I don't know what's going on.
And that's when you got your legs cut off.
That's absolutely what I did.
All right. Yeah, wherever the lasers come in contact with you, it's an instant kill, but the game doesn't pull any punches in that regard. Like, if you get hit in the arm, you watch your arm fly off and blood sprays just everywhere.
Slice.
It's a lot, yeah.
I love that the physics for the rest of your body are completely independent of whatever you may be doing.
Yeah. See, that's what I thought was kind of funny about it. Like, the death physics seem like they might be accurate, but when I'm trying to jump and I hit like I think it was the shift key so that I could jump further, that didn't make any sense to me. Like, that was the thing I think I had the hardest time with. There were some levels that really depended on your ability to be able to jump further, and you'd have to hold down the button, and you could hold down the button mid-jump, and then you'd still get an extra boost, which I thought was a little awkward.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
But this game was tough. I don't know if I could do it, guys. I don't know if I'm a lasers kind of guy.
Me either, but I it was fun to try. I thought it was a fun idea, as like an online based, like, okay, we're gonna try to go play this type of game where we're all gonna all gonna be trying to run through. I gotta imagine that
Laser mazes.
if you're doing it online with a bunch of people, which is how the game is meant to be played, there's got to be a lot of gore going everywhere, right?
Yeah.
That sounds hilarious.
For all the kids out there, this game is an adult obby.
Oh,
I don't know what that
now?
means.
Obby.
what that
That's
means.
that's the Roblox lingo for like the obstacle course game in one of their games.
Man, look at Joel with his Riz.
Yeah, what's with that?
Please
Joel,
don't use
how,
that
how do you know
word.
this? How do you know this, Joel?
It's too late.
Tell me more.
Oh, let's see, Riz. That's
He's Googling. He's Googling.
no, I'm not doing anything.
He
I'm
knows.
trying
He
to-
knows what it is.
I blocked
He's-
a lot of them out of my memory. I'm
He's
sure
How
they'll
much
come
Doors
back.
are you playing, Joel?
Doors?
Yeah, how much Doors are you playing?
We've moved off of Doors.
On the Skibbity Toilet?
There is a tower defense game that is based on that series that I have
course
played
there is.
with my kids. It's fine. It's a very simple tower defense that it's a roguelite. How about that?
Ooh. Is
Might
it
be
as
some
good
tower
as
defense.
Balloons?
That is
never
the
played
pinnacle of
Balloons.
tower defense. What?
I also have not played Balloons. I know people who really love it, and I know people who are still actively playing it. We have a friend that just got into gaming, and through her boyfriend, and her boyfriend is like, "Yeah, I got her on Balloons. You got to start him on the classics." And I was like, "I don't know Balloons.
It's because
Oh,
it's not
man.
balloons. It's balloons.
It's Balloons. It's BL
Balloons.
something.
Balloons. There's
It's
no
BL
ball.
etc."
Mm. I think you just proved my point, so I'm going to leave it at that.
I think they're on Balloons 6.
Yep.
Yeah, they are. Uh-huh.
The six.
I may or may not be playing it right now. Who
the
knows?
6 balloon. The balloons. I'm fluent.
Okay. Yep, sure. So, speaking of hard mode games, we also played Morbid, the Lord of Ire, this week.
Joel doesn't like Souls-like, and he kept saying, "Man, I got to play more of that game. That game was real good." And I'm like, "Well, I guess you found a Souls-like."
He probably appreciates fist-fighting monsters.
That helps. That was pretty cool.
Who was fist-fighting monsters?
I was.
Weren't you?
I was.
No, I had a big sword.
Yeah, you get a fist, rusty knuckles, like halfway through the opening.
You
Yeah.
had a real romantic fist attachment?
Yeah.
Not what he said, but yeah, sure. So did you make it through to the end of the demo, and that's where you got a sword?
What? Mine was from the jump. I don't know. I had a big sword.
I didn't.
Giant. Did you not? Did
Nope.
you guys not?
It started with a sword, and then you
Okay.
find the knuckles at some point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't find the Knuckles.
No, I found Knuckles.
But you didn't find Sonic.
No,
Nor Tails.
but Tails. Ironically,
An Eggman.
good old Pete Eggman.
Yeah, he's the nice Eggman boy.
Yeah, from down the road. So yeah, Joel, you liked Morbid?
I did enjoy my time with it. So
Tell me of Morbid. What is?
Morbid is a Morbid is a Souls-like where you play a woman who is it's sort of a very kind of gothic castle environment as well as some
Snow
and winter area, right? It is very much of that ilk. It's the sort of slower paced, timing based, dodge, deflect, counterattack thing. You only get so many hits before you're really, in trouble, and those are usually low number hits that you have a chance at. And it has those sort of same kind of structures where it looks wide open, but you're really on these different branching paths that you have to go through. So it all retains that kind of structure that those games have had that I've experienced.
With shortcuts.
Yes, like it is multi-tracked. It's not like totally linear, but
which I like that. I like though that the shortcuts were pretty quick. Something like this, the regular Souls game, you got to go like an hour before you get any kind of shortcut.
Yeah. No, I think that this is the first one of these where I feel like I'm being dropped in, and it is patient in how quickly they force you down the actual barrel of the full difficulty. I really felt like the first 10-15 minutes, it dated it so slowly in the instructions and it gave you a chance to really acclimate yourself to it, and it spoon-fed you each step of the way and gave you time to figure it out before you move on. So I appreciated that approach to it. And it also was very forgiving, I think, in some of its reach of the weapons. So she, as Alex said, has this giant sword. I feel like you can dip pretty far in reach when you swing that, and it has a good impact. Even the knuckles, I felt like you didn't really have to get right up on them to hit. So you had a little more, you could sort of dip in and out a little bit cleaner and then be snappy with the counterattacks. But I didn't find it like terribly different from each other. I think besides that, the only thing I'd note is that I think there's an opportunity at some point, either this or in the future games that they do, where the collision animation between the enemy and the player to be a little smoother. I found it sort of had this sort of stiff reaction to each other in attack, or when you had a kill move, it would almost like do a camera shake and blur out the action as far as I could tell. So maybe a little bit cleaner animation there, but that's a small quibble. Like functionally, the game I liked a lot, so I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of it.
Yeah, I definitely saw that. It needs to be a little bit cleaned up, but everything runs pretty well. Since it's one of those Souls games in the same vein as Elden Ring, you have a stamina bar and you have your health bar, so you do have to keep an eye on it. One of the cool things that this did is that the enemies have a stagger gauge, but it is represented with little squares, so they have, depending on the enemy, I think the most common one had 5. So with light and heavy attacks, you knock it down, and then once they become stunned, then it's just a single button prompt that you can do, and it'll do like a devastating move to knock out or knock a huge amount of health out of an enemy. Some of the other games, it can be kind of tricky on the positioning, even if you stagger an enemy. So yeah, I felt like this was not as unforgiving as others. Same with when you died, you didn't lose anything. You were able to retain whatever energy you got. Did anybody make it to the, I want to call it like the base camp or the chapel that you could hang out in?
Yeah.
How'd you feel about those other characters that you ran into?
Oh boy, the large man who like his shirt is just barely covering his chest because his belly is just hanging out that big, and
the really tall, creepy one.
Yeah.
And then the first one that you talked to, he straight up looks like one of the bosses from Elden Ring.
That sort of sage-looking one that you start talking to. Yeah, and it's your sort of standard fare kind of like, you're going on this journey and you have to talk to everybody here who's going to be assisting you kind of stuff. And the world has character to it,
It really does.
And that's one of, I think, the really impressive things about it is that, like, graphically it's not a powerhouse game. It's not going to, match your Elden Rings, but I think art style wise they've built a world that uses color and light and darkness really effectively.
Alex, you're super quiet.
No,
You okay?
No, I didn't end up making it that far in this, but I definitely it felt a little bit more fluid than I would say like a Dark Souls would be. So it like those games, despite I know I play a bunch of them, they still felt kind of stiff, and this one felt a lot more like a lot faster. It reminded me of the anime one you really liked.
The anime one.
Yeah. The anime Souls-like game.
I know what it's called, but do you know what it's called?
No, that's why I said it. That's why I described it the way I did.
Scarlet Nexus.
Nope, different game, Code Vein.
Okay.
But close.
But it reminds me of Code Vein being a little bit faster moving and a little bit more action
It's
based.
very anime-y.
So in this case, I did enjoy that aspect, but I was also getting a lot of the collision issues. So I didn't keep too much of it. But what I played, I really like. So
Yep, just hand Alex a big old sword and he'll be happy. And if you wonder what that means, you'll have to
Wait for the
check it
news.
out. After we take a break, we're going to come back into the news and figure out what that's all about. So we'll see you soon. Hey News! Finally set up my OnlyFans page. Please like and subscribe. Joel looks concerned.
Don't like that.
Well, man, it's just me doing cosplay. Mostly just me dressed as Alex. Actually, it's just pictures of Alex that I put on the internet.
Especially those feet. Gotta get those feet.
no, I have a side hustle where Getty's wife sends me his feet pics when he's not looking.
There's a lot of pictures that I got from Beth where you're just asleep. Turns out people really like that. So,
Again, I should show you the archive of your feet from Christmas parties. It's weird that you hang out at Christmas parties with no socks on, Getty.
gets hot, man.
Your wife gets 25%.
I think that she's gonna dispute that, but
Well, I originally offered 15 and she disputed.
all right. What do you guys want to talk about this week? The Switch 2, which is coming out this year.
Nah.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, the idea behind it is that the real news is that a lot of developers have been talking about their year and what they're looking forward to in 2024. And a lot of them have made reference to, oh man, we're sure excited to be working with Nintendo, and or man, we're excited to work on new technology and new hardware, without saying specifically. So it's kind of, and it's a lot of like third party like Capcom and people who've been working with Nintendo and have a lot of history with Nintendo. So that all this is saying is that, hey, they all got Switch 2s. They're all working on it. They're doing the Switch 2 thing. That's where they're excited and where they're pivoting, and that's kind of interesting.
It kind of is a knockdown from there were reports a few months back about how one of the chip makers, I think it was NVIDIA or something, was talking about how the revenues would be up thanks to a upcoming new product from a Japanese developer. So it sort of chains up that way, and I would think this year would be the year it came out. I mean, with how old
The new
yeah.
some of the new theories are it gets announced this year.
That would make more sense.
Maybe. I mean, maybe they haven't got the momentum to get through to that point.
How much are you paying for your Switch 2?
I know how much the rumor price is because they've said that.
How much are you paying though? What is your cutoff? Do you need one? Are you jonesing for it?
No, but I think that I've done enough review stuff for people that I think that I would probably need one relatively.
Yeah, you need one immediately. You're gonna have to.
But I do remember being super anti-Switch when it was coming out. I thought that was the dumbest thing ever.
I think Alex was the first one to get a Switch as well.
I was not. That was Joel.
Yeah.
Joel's been the first of the Nintendo thing forever. I got one secondhand from a guy and it smelled like weed.
Nice.
Still does.
Mm-hmm. No, I got a new one.
It still does.
Smells like weed too.
With you anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So yeah, the rumored price is $400.
Ooh, that's kind of steep. I was thinking $350.
Now it's $500.
Yeah, but I mean, when a PlayStation 5 costs $500, it's like, well, this is probably fine.
Probably.
This is probably fine.
Yeah.
How else are you going to play Zelda, Metroid, Pokemon? Better cough up that $400.
Not F-Zero.
Not F-Zero.
Should we press F in chat for F-Zero?
Yes.
Maybe.
All right, somebody hold down F. I just want to see. There we go.
There we go.
I don't know if I'm okay with that. All right.
Okay.
I always forget that we should still be talking while we're doing that. It's just a dead spot.
Yeah.
For those of you that couldn't see or hear, we were just spamming emotes in chat. All right. Enough of that. This one is written all in one without any punctuation, so that's how I'm going to read it. Jack Black Steve for Minecraft movie. Jack Black, comma, will be Steve for Minecraft movie?
Wants
Three
to
question
be
marks?
Steve?
No, he's officially Steve.
He's Steve.
Which makes this what number video game movie is this?
11.
You mean that he's been
For
in
Jack
or in
Black?
general?
Yeah. That he's up. He's in. He's in.
Jumanji, Mario, this. Wait,
It's not,
Jumanji.
Jumanji's
is-
not a video. Jumanji's wait, no. Second Jumanji's, second Jumanji 2 and 3 are they're not based off a video game, but they are video game movies per se.
Okay.
So I'll take those. What else you got?
This. I'm trying to.
He's Mario. He's Bowser and Mario.
He's
Claptrap.
Mario? Does
He's
Chris
Claptrap.
Pratt know?
He's Claptrap.
Oh, I thought that movie wasn't coming out, Alex.
They filmed it. Will it come out? I don't know. Maybe it'll just be a huge tax, a tax write-off.
I mean, you were willing to bet a PlayStation 5 that it wasn't coming out.
That did not happen. But
This
also,
is true.
they've had to do reshoots without their director.
I like that.
He's already moved on. So
Let's see.
that movie's doomed. So it's a lot of stuff for Jack Black. Now he's in the Minecraft movie. So that's a lot, but good for him.
Mario.
He seems to be excitable.
He voiced a character in Psychonauts 2.
Again, we're talking about movies.
He voiced a character in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Yes, he's done quite a few voice actors.
He was in a
he-
Goosebumps movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
That was fine.
they made a second one, and that one's I can't remember who that is.
I'm sure
He
that's
was in-
also fine.
This movie called Kung Fu Panda.
I don't
Yeah,
know
he's-
about that.
He's been in the whole series. He's the main guy.
I don't think that's right, Alex. Can
he's
you
the
name that
panda.
character?
He was
He's
in
the panda.
Psychonauts 2. Does that count?
That's literally what Katie just said, and no. It is a... I don't... Let's just keep moving. You guys are infuriating.
God, I love trolling you.
You guys are so
You
dumb.
make it so easy today, too.
Next.
Next. I don't know what this is. It's just a link.
It's an Xbox
So we're going to move on to
toaster.
the next one. It's an Xbox toaster?
It's an Xbox toaster that toasts the Xbox logo into your toast.
You know what my favorite part about going to Comic-Cons now is? So when the Xbox, what is it? What are we on? The Xbox Series
XS.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
They also marketed a whole bunch of refrigerators that look exactly like the system.
Yep.
And at every Comic-Con I've been at for the last 2 years, they are just trying to get rid of those things. Every one of the mystery box stands is like, you could win this Xbox refrigerator. Like, nobody wants it.
No,
So-
they sold it. They were selling it like, at super low cost. I think I saw it for like $40 or something.
For
This
the
is
toaster?
discounted. No, for this fridge.
Yeah, original was 100, I think.
Yeah, I know, and I saw it like down to like 30 or 40, something real low.
Yeah, you can buy them off eBay for $40.
There we go.
Awful.
But they only hold like what, 6 cans of pop?
They're really kind of useless.
Yeah. But it looks like an Xbox. So, fantastic. You can get a Xbox toaster that imprints the Xbox logo onto your bagel. I don't care about this, but you know what I do care about? The KFC game console that's supposed to warm your chicken while you play games. Who was supposed to get with KFC and get us one of those?
Did that all get canceled now? Like, what are we doing?
I don't know.
I can only harass somebody so much.
Yeah, before they block us on Twitter.
If
Did
you
they block
haven't
us?
gotten a restraining order, you're not harassing them enough.
I feel like we had messages from them implying that they'd be interested in collaborating. We need to check the
I mean,
paperwork.
Joel,
It's,
dig into that.
it's their fault for not knowing who we are. So
This is true.
you should just message them and say no takesy backsies, and we need one now.
Exactly. Say Getty says no takesy backsies.
And then send them a picture of me.
Joel, you got this.
And then let me know.
My tendies and nuds are cold.
Let me know if you need a picture of Alex sleeping, because I got a ton of those now.
Keep going.
Keep going. Keep
I'm moving
going.
past you being weird. I'll just post all your your feet fixed for free. But I already said I got to make a profit.
So you're not
gots to
going to
get
post
paid.
them for.
I got to get
Good
You
paid.
luck
know,
with that.
if you post them for free, you don't owe his wife anything.
Yeah, but then I don't get anything.
That's true.
She's doing the work, man.
She's doing the Lord's work.
Are you turning
Next.
into JJJ? I need pictures of Getty's feet.
Yeah, he is. Look at him down there. All right. Next one. Gran Turismo Sport delisted. Cultural significance?
It was listed?
It's more the fact that it's just another kind of idea that, hey, your games aren't your games. PlayStation will remove them and make it impossible to play them. So it's just, if you really like a game, buy it physical.
Let's get physical.
Yep. No, people like Gran Turismo, and Gran Turismo Sport was a good one. So I think it was like the PS3, and now it is gone forever.
Yep.
Sell your PS3 with Gran Turismo Sport on eBay.
I think Kansas had a song about this.
I wonder if I can find a guy with Gran Turismo
Kansas?
Sport on the PS3. Make some money.
Dust in the Wind, Getty.
That one.
Who's
I don't know.
Kansas?
You know what? Don't help him.
Just kidding.
Carry on, wayward son.
Yeah. Carry on, Alex. Next one. Steamboat Willie is now public domain. If you missed that, some of the images have been horrifying the last few days. But now that means that people are making games and movies using that character.
I saw a cartoon as well.
A cartoon. Well, the one that we want to talk about is Infestation 88, which has now been renamed to Infestation Origins. And it's just, what, gritty Steamboat Willie, which looks
It's a
like...
Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare style game. Part of the reason for the rename is that there's been a discussion that 88 generally stands for 2 H's, which is a Nazi salute.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
And they say that it was not the intent, but the other question is, Nazis can be evil in your game. Look at Wolfenstein. Or are the developers that way? And now there's questions about whether they are kind of toxic people or not. No one knows what's going on. And the game has kind of come under a real heavy fire, and hence the name change.
I do like speculation.
Yeah, Origins is what they do to phone games. Like, oh, you want to iterate on your phone game? Just put the word Origins on it. So it kind of feels even weirder that way.
I don't know. I think there was a Silent Hill Origins.
I mean, that tells you the exact same thing.
Or is that on?
I don't remember. I have to check.
PSP?
No, we'll have to get... yeah, I think it was PSP.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was like one of the worst.
No,
ones.
Think that was Homecoming. Oh, well, I'll check
No,
in a
I think
second.
they both were.
I gotta finish fighting this... There
were two.
Alex,
PSP
who
ones.
names these monsters in Monster Hunter now?
I think the proper answer is the Japanese.
Well, none of these names make sense. I think there's a Gyarados in my house.
Nice.
How do you pronounce J-Y? Yep, no, this is Gyarados now. All right, next up. Horizon Zero Dawn MMO is all but confirmed. Hey, you guys like running around and shooting mechanical robots with your bow and arrow? Do it with your friends.
I have no friends to hang out with and do that stuff with.
Yeah, I tried many a time. Alex ruined everything.
What did I do?
True.
Next, this is the biggest piece of news that we're going to report on all week. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Apex Legends collab. Alex fell out of his chair, choking on his soda earlier today. He is all hype. He's 200% on board. What is going on with this?
None of that's true.
You're the only Apex Legends I know.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think this looks like garbage.
You don't want your Buster Sword?
Dude, the Buster Sword is like, it's like 1.5 feet. That's a real stumpy Buster Sword.
You gotta bust when you can, man. You know,
It's like a tuna can.
busting does make me feel good.
Different game?
This is a cool collab. I like Apex Legends collabs, and I like anime weird stuff in collaboration with like shooters and stuff. But this, I don't like the way the costumes look. I don't like. They added materia, which give you like cool weird abilities. I don't know if that's cool or not. It'll switch up the game for sure. But the costumes look a little off-putting and not quite correct. And the sword in the game gives you special abilities, but it also looks real stumpy. So I'm kind of not really into it. It just was very confusing that was a collaboration. But I liked when they did the anime collabs because that was real weird. This just seems a little bit silly. So, but that's a thing. That's a thing that's happening.
Alex is going to play it nonstop.
I don't know nonstop, but I have been like, even before this, I've been kind of like, I should probably just hit play on Apex Legends and see what's up in there.
He's got to do it. Somebody has to get ranked.
I mean, I'm low rank. Does that help?
No. It doesn't.
Okay.
Doesn't help anybody. It doesn't even help the 13-year-old that beat Tetris. When you say beat, you just mean the game froze, right?
Kind of. It crashed.
Yeah. So you max out the scores, you do max everything out, and it just crashes.
Not necessarily. You actually have to do. There are steps involved.
Oh, are there?
Yeah, like by a certain round, you have to have cleared. Get down to one line. You have to do a certain couple other things. Also, if you do it wrong, you can crash the game early. It's actually like a real, like you had to walk the line. And apparently, he had missed one of the early points of like where he could have crashed it. He missed the move that he needed to do, so he had to wait for it to come around again, which means he had to continue with like how fast the game was going and playing it. And at the level he was, you couldn't move the piece from one end of the screen to the other. You can't do that. So there are other things like involved. I think one of the things to make the game crash early is that you can't let a block fall naturally. You have to hit down. So if a ball, even with how fast it's going, you still have to hit down.
Yeah.
And because of this, they have to create this like new random like control scheme that they have to hold the control and like roll over it. I'm not too familiar with it, but it sounds bonkers. Also, it was hilarious that he's like freaks out and then like calls his parents, and his parents are like, "Oh, that's nice. Good for you. Dinner in 5."
Yep.
To be 13.
But yep, that's a record for you. That's pretty cool.
You know what else is really cool?
What's that?
Freebies.
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 Freebies. Alex has all the freebies that you can shake your stick at this week.
Had to crack that into the mic. All right, where we at, Gaddy? Hit me.
You ready?
Hmm.
Can you tell me about Acrobatic Car on Steam?
Acrobatic car. You're a hand-drawn little car with a clown in it, and you're doing trials like driving. So you're using your tires and angles to climb up and over obstacles and doing silly flips.
Silly flips?
Silly flips. Well, you're a clown in the window.
I like silly flips.
Me too.
Next up, Null Gravity Labyrinth.
Find and touch the golden cube to exit the abstract labyrinth. It just looks like you're in a room full of balloons that are constantly growing around you with no up, down, left, or right. You're just going in directions and trying to find a cube. This game seems trippy.
Mm-hmm. Next, we have Guardians of the Galaxy over on the Epic Game Store. Go pick that up.
Is this for the week?
Through January 11th.
Okay.
At 10 a.m.
I didn't want to put that on there because I'm like, I don't know, I might be gone on it.
None of this matters. Didn't 1 week we just tell them a bunch of games that weren't even free?
No, that was last week, and your recording stopped. So these are the ones from last week.
Are they?
Yes.
Are they still free?
Yep.
You sure?
I checked them all out.
All
I got
right.
the pages up, man. I got the pages up.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. I went in. I'm going to mess you up then.
Why?
Because I was like, oh, we did One-Armed Cook last week. We should put in a different
okay.
one.
I have the page up. I literally have the Steam page up. What's next? Hit me.
Well,
He had it up 2 weeks ago. He hasn't taken it down yet. The Finals over on Steam.
I mean, you skipped one, but the Finals, world-famous free-to-play combat-centered game show. Fight alongside your teammates in virtual arenas that can alter and exploit and even destroy. Everything is breakable. You and your teammates trying to get a safe full of cash and get out in this game show. This game has been blowing up. The Finals
Literally.
was one of the new hot ones.
Melted my computer.
Yeah, this game's supposed to be really good. A lot of people have fun with it.
We got Storm Edge, Wind of Change over on Steam.
This reminds me of that game that Alec made us play for Extra Life. What was it called?
Wizard of Legend.
Yeah, Wizard of Legend. Top-down angle. You are a wizard. You put abilities on buttons. You could dash, shoot your different elemental skills, do melee combat, avoid traps, and defeat enemies, and explore the captivating tale of elemental storms' origins. Brace for treacherous challenges and test your skills against the tempests.
And last one, One-Armed Robber over on Steam.
Oh.
See, I told you I was going to mess you up.
Well, there's also One-Armed Cook. The idea is these are silly physics games where you only have one arm and you move around and do different like complex puzzles. So like if you were to make an egg sandwich, you take an egg and you crack it on the pan, but the shell's in there and you only have one arm to like flip it and put it on a patty. And I assume the robber is you doing different tasks to break into a home. But again, you only have the one arm and it's first person. So it's all sorts of silly mania.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that.
Sick stuff.
All right, so everybody go out there, grab your freebies, and this year, maybe even you can claim the throne of Beatless Champion. Let's take a break. Come back for our last segment. Oh, hey, we're back. Back with the Backlog blog where we play games. Hey, guys, I hope you like me talking about Baldur's Gate for the foreseeable future, because that's what we got.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate.
I'm so happy that you, because you were trying to, with the beat list so hard. You're like, I'm going to do the beat list, and I can't play the games I want to. And then you were finally like, I'm finally going to play Baldur's Gate 3. And I was like, oh, man, I'm so happy for Getty that he gets to enjoy Baldur's Gate 3.
I'm glad that I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm already 40 hours into it.
Take your time, buddy.
It's going to take a real long time. You'll be glad to know that character creation didn't take me very long. I knew what I wanted to do. I made my character. And I'm playing it.
What's your character?
It's Cedric. I made Cedric from our campaign.
Nice. Very nice.
It's just straight up. It's got all the same stuff.
For those who are not aware of what that is.
I made a warlock.
Okay, thank you.
And I Eldritch Blast everything. And when I'm not Eldritch Blasting everything, I have a weapon that I pop out from nowhere, and then I take swipes at people with it. And then most of my time is just spent counterspelling.
I also find it funny, though, that all of Getty's characters, their personality traits are just Getty, which also means he's kind of a worrywart.
Alex, I found a weapon that's just called Sorrow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I was like, did I make this weapon and put it in the game? Don't mind if I do. And I've just been using that. What do you need to know about Baldur's Gate 3? Okay, so...
How's the dice rolling?
It's huge. That's a big part of it.
Does it feel good?
It feels pretty good, but sometimes it feels real bad. Because you're like, man, the difficulty on this is I just need to roll anything above, like, a 1. It's like... you got all these bonuses. You're like, oh, I can see all the bonuses at the bottom of the screen. It's like +3 for this, +3 for that, and then you can like bump it up and do like an extra like 4-sided dice, like trying to get it even higher. And then the one number that you roll, it's just a big old 1, and that's an automatic failure. And you're like, oh. Now the nice thing is that there's a couple of systems in place that allow you to re-roll on a 1, but if you don't have any resources to do it, then you're just kind of boned, and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna miss that opportunity, I'm gonna miss this conversation. And you could upset some people, and sometimes people are really receptive, and you can try and reword it or come back at it with a different approach. But this game's super in-depth, huge maps, huge story, lots of side quests.
Did you get arrested?
I have not gotten arrested, but that hasn't stopped me from going into some of the enemy encampments and just lighting everybody up.
Well, I'm asking because I know that this game is massive. I do, but there was a lot of discourse about how there are other games that are more complex, and someone had given a really in-depth play-by-play on one specific scenario in that game, the Goblin Camp.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave no less than 11 different ways to complete that scenario that were really, kind of really cool, including one of them just getting arrested. And they bring you to... And, that's kind of a cool story beat they don't tell you, is that if you get arrested, they bring you to the Goblin Camp.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's other things, you can befriend them. If you smear yourself in poop, they think you're hilarious. You can put them all to... you can drug them and put them all to sleep.
Yep.
There's a lot of, just so many ways to go about it that it just was... It was, baffling to me that the game has this many different permutations of what to do and how to do it. If you befriend one goblin outside, he'll just talk your way through the entire camp. There is one outside that you can befriend.
Truly a very comprehensive version of playing Dungeons and Dragons just with your friends.
Yeah.
Granted, the characters that you meet along the way, they have overly complicated backstories. That's kind of the joke too, is that sometimes you'll have friends that have these really long and elaborate ones that the dungeon master or the game master tries to fit into the story, and it feels like that with the people that you encounter. One of them's a vampire, the other one's a mage, and he has to consume magical items so that he doesn't explode. There's just like
Did you convince the one person to not be racist?
I don't know that I found anybody being racist in my party.
There's one character that's problematic, I'm told.
Okay.
And that you could try to convince them to not be.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can, though. You can try to. You can try, but I don't think it's possible if it's the character I'm thinking of. And it's one of the Drow twins.
Okay.
If I recall correctly.
Okay. I killed the first Drow that apparently I could have recruited. But, I mean, there's just so many different things that you can do. The characters, you can switch your party members. It's just endless customization. I've been making some videos. I'm going to upload another one to my YouTube. One of the encounters I had is I walked into a room with a giant demon that was summoned, and there's another demon that's at odds with him. So I talked that demon into killing himself, and I found it very entertaining, but my persuasion skills pretty good, so I felt like I was able to not have to fight a dozen summoned monsters. But yeah, this game is going to be a while me playing it, so I hope you like hearing about my Baldur's Gate 3 adventures. That's just what I'm going to share for today.
Awesome.
And then Alex is going to bread us to death before bed.
I've been playing Born of Bread on the Nintendo Switch. We had played this a demo about a year ago, I want to say, maybe longer. And this is a Super Mario RPG style game where the characters are like flat paper and they move and they kind of shift around, and you can see they're flat. And you do a turn-based RPG combat that if you time the button prompts, they will you'll do extra damage, or you can block damage when they're attacking you, equipable items, and a whole comedic cast of characters, as you are a character that was a baker was baking and he accidentally put the wrong thing in, and all of a sudden you're a character made out of bread.
What a delicious coincidence.
Yep. And there are people who are from the past that time traveled into the future and are now trying to like reclaim their fallen kingdom, as it were. And so you're just kind of happenstancing being part of this adventure to stop these evil people. And I don't like it's a fine game. It plays fine. It doesn't really have any problems. As far as like it works, it's functional. There isn't like any collision problems. The menus work. Everything's fine. It's just that it's trying so hard to do a lot of stuff that for me just isn't. It's not hitting the way I want it to. I just came off one of the best, Paper Mario style games like this year, right? Like you had Sea of Stars, you have Super Mario RPG, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And kind of just top to bottom, Born of Bread just doesn't hit the feel goods of it. So the combat, the timing based hits it doesn't feel consistent. I don't know. Like I've been playing for 10 hours and I don't know what button prompts I'm supposed to be hitting. Like not the button prompts. I just don't know the timing. I don't know the timing on so many enemy attacks. I don't know the timing. I equipped an item that will like you'll see a little shine when you're supposed to hit the button, and it's still 50-50 to me.
Really?
Yes.
That's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
When that kind of stuff happens, I felt the same way when we played the demo, and I thought maybe with an opportunity, getting to go back and try it, maybe I would get better at it. But it's tough. Like if you can't get the timing down, it really impacts the way that you're able to play a game, especially one that is heavily dependent on this. Because you take a lot of damage, if I recall correctly.
You do. Luckily, you can recharge like your health to like with like spells and stuff. There's that. There's 3 different like you get your HP, mana, and then another like special ability for special attacks, and that to me is just like too many. Like, it's like, why do I have to do that? Because some normal attacks take special MP, and some, like, your really special attacks, I guess, take the other special. It's just like that's kind of annoying. It's got too many like systems. So for your character, the bread character, he gets items that do the backpack system from Resident Evil, and then once you Tetris them in your backpack, you can use them to attack. But every other character has a skill tree. And the skill tree you get skill points from finding hidden lizards throughout the world. So right there, rapid fire, that's 3 different systems. Finding all these hidden characters, skill points, and the Tetrising of weapons. Then you get palette colors. Your menu, you collect different palette colors so your characters wear different color costumes. Your attack, defend, run, special ability options in the menu. You collect rare cards that will just change that little image right there. Yeah, like stuff like that, and they don't really explain it too well.
But yeah.
Yeah, and they just keep giving you more of that kind of stuff to the point that I just don't know what I'm collecting and or why. And I'm not really touching a lot of it. I'm doing some of the skill points just because that's the only way you can unlock new abilities, and I'm picking abilities that I want. So, okay, my character's got to heal. Perfect. I never have to touch this character again. You know, that's kind of where I'm at with it, is that I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
And that's not necessarily fun. And there's even more to it. Like, there's a system of your fights are getting live streamed on Twitch by somebody, and there's an audience, and if they like what you're doing, you get bonus viewers. But that doesn't do a whole lot, except for sometimes they will ask you, hey, maybe you should defend, and if you defend, then you will get some of your special points back that you can do a special ability.
Weird.
Is the combat the only place they mention that, or is it like a story premise?
Yes. It's the only time they mention it. The story premise is that all heroes have somebody that records their journey. They call it the saver, aka you go to a spot and that guy is there to save your game.
Okay.
Huh.
And like that's so when the fight starts, he pulls out his little laptop and he sits there, and the audience will be a stream of comments will be on the side. It's weird. It's really weird. And then it just tries really hard to be funny at every turn. And I just think that is like it's just too much that doesn't often hit. For instance, the entire cast, like the Heroes Guild is run by a bunch of accountants in suits and ties, which is okay. That's kind of quirky, but also they're the cast of The Office.
Okay.
And the main head guys are Jim, Dwight, and
Michael.
Michael
Scott.
And they just argue the entire time.
Oh.
And like they're kind of almost, they might as well be quoting The Office, and like the real like, this is the quote that everybody says. Like at one point, Dwight says beats bears and battles, and it's like, okay, but that's not even quite exactly the quote. But also it's not necessary here. Like it's just weirdly, it's just they keep doing that kind of stuff, and they do that everywhere throughout the world. Every story beat is just another like way to like memeify it.
Is it just like a bunch of referential humor? That's more or less what it is.
Not all of it, but a lot of it, yes. It's just a lot of like that and corny like dad jokes and a lot, but it's just so much rapid fire. Everything is a joke. Everything is a funny bit. You know, they break the fourth wall.
Oh.
A lot of places. It's just that. It's just like it's just a lot, and it doesn't like just chill for a second and let's be quiet and play the game and not like don't shoot me a meme right now. And that's all it is. That's all it is. It's like it's and again, it all plays fine. It's just that these systems and the humor and everything around it just keeps like bombarding me with more that I just want it to stop and just like breathe. So that's Born of Bread. I'm gonna beat it. It's a fine game. I'm reviewing it, but it just is a little much. Beat it.
Remember that.
Yep. It's just a little much. That's all. It's just a little much.
He's gonna beat it out of 10.
Yep.
I remember thinking that when we played the demo, that the combat was easy to understand and simple, and there was a lot of humor. I remember thinking it was a lot, but I also thought it was funny. But I played, 30 minutes? Mm-hmm. You know, I'm hours and hours in, and I'm just like, okay, this is, a lot.
He's all like, born and bred, what happened to you? You used to be
just
cool.
Just more like a lot of, a dabble do you.
A dabble do you.
Dabble do you. So.
That's Super GG Radio. A dabble do you. Remember that.
Please don't.
Thank you for dabbing. Woo!
It's definitely a visual medium.
Yep. More dabs. All right. Thank you, Alex. We expect a full report next week.
Absolutely.
Written. Double-spaced.
A4? Or
all right. Let's do this. We're moving on. We're moving on to our final segment of the night. It's called One Last Thing, and this week's One Last Thing is brought to you by 2024. Gonna be lit AF.
No cap.
Hot diggity dog.
So, yeah. Got a lot of games coming out. My one last thing, Baldur's Gate. And then maybe at the end of the month, I will be ready for Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. That sounds like a game that's coming out.
People really like it.
People are saying that it is even longer, if that's possible.
But they also said that it keeps the plot like in a really good spot.
The first one was bonkers. So if I get to beat up another piss wizard in my life, I'll be pretty happy. All right, Alex, hit me. What's your one last thing?
One last thing is I'm looking forward to this year. I have some plans for gaming. I have some plans for beta breakdowns. I have some. We're moving forward. We're killing it this year. It's gonna be another banner year. Everything is fine.
I heard it's 24 reviews and then 12 beta breakdowns and 2 trips where you vlog.
Okay. I mean,
Maybe.
the reviews are what. The reviews, I'm not sure of. The rest of it, I could do. I mean, I'll vlog us going to the Nier concert.
Nice.
He will vlog it, whether we like it or not.
Probably not.
Oh, I thought he said
to
flog us.
No. And we're going to have to get him one of those selfie sticks so that he can record from the proper angle this time. All right.
I would actually like that.
Yeah, I know you would. Joel, one last thing.
So, Santa was generous to us this holiday and got each of us on our side. Do you guys know slimes? Like, slimes are the big thing right now online. Where he's like,
From Dragon Quest?
Not quite.
That's what I
Not
thought,
quite.
too.
So they're little containers of think more like Nickelodeon DAC, like that
Okay.
type of stuff. But they all have like their weird consistencies, and they're all sorts of ASMR videos to it. So thought I'd share them with you here. This one's cotton candy ice cream, and it's just sort of this like pillowy, very like cotton candy-ish sort of feeling, right? Let's see if we. I don't know if that's gonna make any sounds on the microphone, but.
Oh, well, just mush it into your microphone.
Let's see. Next is this is Snowman Fizz. So like it's a little more like bubbly and stretchy, and you can kind of just like pull like that, and it's kind of like gum. So that one's kind of weird. That one's got some good crunch. We're gonna do that right next to the mic here. Mm-hmm. That's good. All right. All right,
There you go.
and then
you
this
go.
one.
Joel, this one is sugar cookies.
Oh, all right. That's nice and stringy. This one is Fruity Pebble Krispies, and like it looks straight up like Rice Krispie treat.
We're making real gross sounds here.
Yeah, so get some of that into the mic.
This one is lemon bar.
Who's
Hey,
going
guys,
to lick it first?
we're doing a, what is this now? I must have blacked out, but it looks like we're doing a video review for your slime.
Yep, last one. So I got
right.
Blood Curse because that was the only heavy volume one left. Was that consistency. This is a nice red light taffy light.
I like that color.
Substance.
Very shiny. Shiny and looks like bright metallic red.
Yeah. It's very from our end. It's very more flesh-like, but then you squeeze it, and that has like these blood bubbles that pop. What's the matter?
Nothing.
Okay.
Blood bubbles that pop.
Yep.
Just thinking about some of the words that were chosen.
Okay, I'm done. That's fine.
Flesh-like.
He said flesh-like.
That's what I said.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Alec, I don't know how you're going to follow that up.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna wrap up Messenger here pretty soon. I hope. I'm stuck on the demon boss, but that feels like I'm getting pretty well through the game. And then I just picked up 14 Mega Man games, so I think I know what I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future.
Playing one Mega Man game.
Yep.
Getting real mad at it.
I am so mad at Jet Stingray's level right now on Mega Man X4. Oh my god.
That'll do it. There's always one. All right. Everybody feels good? Feeling like we accomplished a lot this week? Put out a good product?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Just making sure. Okay. That'll be it for this week's episode of Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find us on X at Super GG Radio and twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where I see that this didn't get updated. So, all right. We're doing it. Thursdays are podcast day. Come sit, join us for a while. Maybe listen to us. Yeah, whatever you like. Mondays, Joel is being the bad guy. You sure? Yep. Did you move on?
Move on to what?
I don't know. What are you playing?
It's still Disco Elysium.
Okay, just making sure. Wasn't sure if you finally capped it.
No.
All right, you're gonna get there.
Yep.
I believe in you.
Yep.
Wednesdays, Alex is playing. This just says whatever he wants, Getty. All right. Are you playing Monster Hunter?
I'm playing Monster Hunter Rise. I hit the 16-hour mark, and that means I am halfway.
Halfway to getting a set of armor that doesn't stink?
Nope. All of it stinks. It's all animal carcasses. Animal carcasses all the way down.
All right. And then maybe we'll have other streaming plans. You'll just have to watch and listen to us to find out what they are. Ooh.
It's getting awfully spooky here.
Yeah. Scary streams.
I mean, we're technically still in Christmas. There's still time for spirits.
And
I'd rather not.
well, I'm not. I'm gonna bite my tongue there, and I'm gonna continue strong. If you'd like to reach us with questions or input, our email address is mail@superggradio.com. And you know what? Just provide us a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. Thanks for listening, and good game, Alec.
Good game.
Good game, Joel.
Good game.
And good game, Alex.
GG Getty, Joel, you're gross.
Spilled out.
Oh.
This is not getting out of my hands anytime soon.
We don't need anything more than this.
Good.
This is Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, man.